Good morning. So happy Friday, happy Saturday for me. I hope you had a great week. I'm trying something new today. I'm trying without my headphones because I want to play a video. And the last time I tried that with my headphones in, I could play the video, you could hear it, but then you couldn't hear me when I came back. So I'm just going to talk to the regular microphone and hopefully that will work. So today is the free-for-all day and it's Saturday morning and I'm preparing to go back to China mainland today, this morning. I'll be leaving right after this. So leaving Hong Kong. And I saw this incredible video yesterday that was just so thoughtful and so well done and beautiful. And I'll put the link to the full video below. But so I thought I would just use that as my topic. So the video was about from a gentleman who has lived in China now for a while. He's Western. I don't know where he's from originally. I don't know his native country. But he talks about how China has made him rethink what he knows about himself. And so I thought, people often ask me, like, why did I want to come to China? People from home ask me that, and people here in China ask me that. There's so many layers to the question, because there's the one question of, why do you want to leave your home country? Like, that's a question. Why do you want to live, in China specifically, or why are you interested in China specifically? Is another question. And then the third one is also kind of like, why are you not just traveling or touring? Why are you thinking more long term? And so one of the things that I really appreciated, I'm feeling self-conscious today because I'm talking louder, and there's a gentleman who sits right behind me reading his newspaper, and I feel like I'm bothering him. I don't know where to go. Oh well, I'll try to be quick. So, I think that I really do believe that the travel is something that it's one of the easiest, fastest ways to change things about yourself. Because if you pick yourself up and you put yourself in this other environment, you see things that you might not otherwise see about yourself, And so, yes, I'm learning about the Chinese culture, but I'm really also learning so much about myself. So I will play the video, but one of the things he talks about is the visibility here. And that is something that's really different. Here things are very public and very communal. And of course, being a foreigner, you stand out. And I think I tend to be a shy, introverted person. And when I travel, it's kind of relaxing because I can be an unknown. Nobody has to know me. I don't have to talk to people. I can be in my own little world. And I really enjoy that. And that's true here. But it's also kind of the opposite, is that people often come up to me, or they ask to take my picture, or I'm just very visible. And now I'm like staying in people's homes, and so the social element is actually very different. The dynamic is very different. And when I first came, I felt very uncomfortable. Like, I didn't want to be on video, I didn't want people taking my picture. I was kind of like, why are people taking my picture? I was very sensitive about it. And I slowly just was like, why do I care? What does matters? Like, what am I trying? I know we worry about like our face being everywhere or this, but I'm like, here I am doing YouTube live. So, but, oh, hey, Blue. Yeah. So, Yeah, so I think that was one thing, was just kind of like my shy introverted self, and being, on the one hand, comforted by travel, but on the other hand, being like really forced to face that as well, and notice like, why am I shy, or why am I introverted, you know? And I think a lot of that comes from feeling concerned about other people's perception of me, right? So it's really kind of, you know, fear of being judged, or fear of not being accepted, or fear of being weird, or something like that. It's not really that I don't want to talk to people. So, oh, Bloom. Somebody asked for your picture because they thought you were a movie star with California plates. Well, I think that's completely understandable. I mean, I could see why you would be mistaken for a movie star, my friend. even without the California plates. So, and just real quick, I would like to also say things that I feel are affecting me with the being here in China. And one of the other things I've noticed is how they're very honest and very direct. And that also, I just appreciate it so much. But I also find I have habits that are not honest and direct. Not that they're not honest, but I think, particularly living in North Carolina, it's a very polite culture in North Carolina. It's very smiley, God bless you, like all the time. And, it's just, you smile and you thank people, and you might think things in your head and you don't say them in North Carolina, right? It's very polite culture. Whereas here, they're very direct. If you don't like something, you can just say it and it's fine. And it's like, I'm trying to learn how to do that, because it's really nice and freeing to be able to do that. But I also notice it's not my habit. It's not natural at the moment. And then I think noticing how, on the one hand, people look at me and they're like, you're very adventurous, you're very independent, you have so much courage. I'm like, okay, true. Like, I will receive that. That is true. I am doing something that's courageous, I guess. At the same time, there are limits to like the change that I can handle, and I need stability too. I'm trying to find that. I am looking for a home. I don't want to just keep roaming around. I want to have that home base, and I am I like having simplicity, but I want to create art. I want to do things, and it's hard to do that without having a home base. To put my glasses on to read comments. Sorry. Yeah, it really is amazing, the whole honesty thing. It's such a relief to not have to worry about it. Like, even when I'm staying with the host, I worry about like, okay, now, what gift do I need to give the host, and like what are the expectations? We have New Year's coming up, and what gifts, and the people are like, don't worry about it. Like, and if I say like, oh, I don't know about, this next step, like if I can stay with this other person, they're like, it's okay. Like, they're like, it's so nice. I would like for everybody to be able to experience that aspect of the culture. Okay, so then the last thing I will say is that I've noticed that I can adjust to a new city pretty quickly. Like, it's kind of amazing how quickly you can get to know a city. Like, if you really are active, like if I land and I go out walking around a city, I can get to know the city in a day. The feeling of it, the layout of it, the key places, whatever. I could get a feel for it. Like, how does the subway work? How does the food? Where is the, you know what I mean? Key things. I got a feel for the city, and it's no longer a foreigner to me. But I also notice that there are certain norms that I turn to, especially if I'm traveling a lot, like I have been recently. I kind of have tourist fatigue because I've been traveling so much. So even here in Hong Kong, I ended up not doing a lot of touristy things because I just didn't have it in me, because I didn't come here for that. And I just was like, that'll have to be another trip. So I did a couple things the first day, and then I was like, I'm good. And I noticed that like one of the things I turn to, which I hate to admit, is that like I go to McDonald's here more than I care to admit. Like I never ate McDonald's in the US ever. I don't even know when I last ate McDonald's in the US. But when I'm traveling around, and of course McDonald's here are different, so that's kind of fun too. You get to see like what McDonald's in China serves. Like they have taro pies instead of apple pies. They're filled with taro. It's like purple. It's yummy and a little less sweet. But when you're traveling around, it's easy, it's quick, it's familiar, like it's food. And you just like, I don't often when I'm traveling, don't want to take a risk of eating something that might make me sick or might not settle with me well, or, I don't want to waste money on something and not like it. So anyway, I just end up doing that. And, there are certain things, obviously having Wi-Fi everywhere, having some food that's familiar. Just there are certain norms, I guess, that are needed, even with a lot of travel. I guess I'm kind of waffling a little bit. I really just want to play you some of this video because it's like a film. It's beautiful, and you can watch the whole thing. But let me just play you a little bit, and then you'll get a sense of much better sense of what I'm talking about. Hopefully this will work. Window. There. Okay. Well, stop sharing. I won't play the ads for you. Oh, the sound wasn't playing? Darn. I thought that, well, gosh, because it's so poetic. He's speaking over the beautiful images. And, well, I could try again. Let's see, though. I don't know what I need to change. It was so beautiful. Yeah, it's really, he does an incredible job. Mute in edit. I don't know what to change. When you share, just make sure it says share sound is on. Oh, okay. Share screen. Also share tab audio. Yeah, it's selected. Window. Go through the ad just in case. Okay. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. Allow. Okay. It was on the other tab, not on this window. So now it should work. Should I go back to the beginning? Or maybe I'll just play from where we are. Go back to the beginning? Okay.
I haven't felt this disconnected from a place in a long time. I came to China thinking I knew what I'd find, but nothing prepared me for what I actually experienced here. Nothing feels the way I was told it would. I visited 27 countries in just a few years. That's 61 airports, 600 hours in planes, 24 days in the sky. I thought I became good at being a stranger, that I could slip in and out of places like wind through buildings. But here, the wind stopped. China stopped me. The first thing I noticed was how people look at me. They stare. It's horrible. Every time I step outside, I'm noticed. I just want to get food, but kids are pointing at me. Adults stopping their cars to watch, probably judging me because I'm black, because I'm not from here, because I don't fit. I know they're probably not used to seeing foreigners. Still, I've never felt this much social anxiety in 24 hours. Funny thing is, I thought I didn't care about people looking at me. I was lying to myself. I care. I actually care. And here, they made me remember why. I think I care because I want to be accepted. I want to fit in. I don't want to be alone, rejected. When I was a kid, I always felt different, fascinated by things other kids ignored. Growing up, I learned not to say too much, to shrink, so other will feel comfortable. If I didn't, I just got pushed away. And being myself mattered less than having friends. China triggered that scar. That's too much of being seen when all you want is to disappear. After only 2 days, I wanted to leave. But while checking for flights, I realized that's what I always do. I always run when things become uncomfortable.
Oh, it's really beautiful, and the whole video is just great. And it's a really he shows beautiful pictures of China, and it's just spot on. Like I also, when I first arrived at the Kung Fu Center, I met the first person there. She was super sweet. She lived in the room right across from me, and she was like, "Welcome," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not staying." Like first day, I was so tired, and I was like, I don't think I have it in me. I just think this is, yeah, whatever. And she was so sweet, and she was like, maybe just stay and do like the first day of training. It's really lovely. And yeah, I'll put the link in the chat for sure. I'll put it in the comments, or I can put it in the comments right now, and then I can also put it in the description. There you go. Yeah, Alex Cisse, perhaps. Yeah. And I think it's a lot, coming to China. It's a challenge on many different levels, and so I think sometimes one aspect of the challenge is like you can handle it, but then another aspect you're like puts you over the top or whatever. And so even for people who want to come visit me in China, I'm always like, like how much have you been to Asia before? Like, have you have you eaten these foods before? Have you roughed it before? Have you like what I don't know, like kind of like trying to check aspects of their travel experiences to see like, how much effort is this going to be to have someone come? So, but definitely worth it. Yeah. I guess this would be, something I would kind of keep monitoring and maybe can continue to report back on as I go. I also think I'm preparing myself right now. I'm trying to breathe through right now the period that I'm in, just because I'm doing another big change, right? I'm starting a job and I'm meeting different people. Like the Kung Fu people were easy. Those were my people. They were, health people and nomads and like just very easy. Now work, it's a little different. And I don't know how much how easy it will be. I think it'll be easy. I think so far, I mean, I've loved all the people I've been meeting, but it's a different structure. And I've heard from other people that like the first 3 months, sorry, are the most difficult. And so I'm kind of preparing myself that these next couple of months perhaps are going to still be, I'm still going to have instability. I don't know where I'm going to be living. I'm going to be tossed around probably from like house to house, person to person, and city to city a little bit. And I just have to keep going with that for now. Like I'm not where I want to be yet. And I just have to keep holding on, keep riding the boat here for a little bit longer. So, but I do think this idea of travel, being in China particularly, I don't know what it is about China, but something about it really reflects you back to yourself somehow. It just does it. So, oh, cool. You have a friend in Morocco. Yeah, Morocco's amazing. I really wanted to go there earlier this year and I didn't quite make it, but I've always wanted to go. Yeah, I could rent something here. I mean, I guess you can buy too. I'm not going to be buying anything anytime soon, but you can rent. You can. I can rent an apartment. But a lot of the rents are a year. There are sometimes short-term ones, but it sounds like where I'm going to be living, they mainly do 1-year rentals, and I'm not ready for that yet. Yeah. So I'm looking for, so that's the thing. Like, so I can either stay with people, like kind of short-term options. We can see what those are, or I could stay in a hotel. And, you know, the hotels here aren't expensive. I can find a hotel, very nice hotel is like $40 a night, including free breakfast. And then there are less expensive ones. They don't do Airbnb. No, they don't have Airbnb in China. Yeah. The 40 sounds like a good price, yeah, but like we're close to where I was by the Kung Fu Academy, there was a very nice hotel that was $17 a night, including breakfast, with a bathtub. So, yeah, the reference, the bar changes once you get here. 17, yep, 17, yeah, including breakfast, hot breakfast, buffet, hot breakfast. So, yeah. But here, Hangzhou, where I'll be working, is a bigger city, and so yeah, there are some less expensive, but there's such a big city that you can be in different areas. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, the very first breakfast I think I talked about when I came to China, and I went out and bought my steamed buns. And, you know, I got 2 of these huge steamed buns filled with like, you know, greens and onions and just mushrooms and whatever, so filling. And they were 27 cents each. You know, it was 55 cents for 2 of these things. You know, it is really blows your mind. And it's something that I love. I mean, that's the thing that, you know, they have done a really good job so far of taking care of necessities. Like, I think like that's the main thing. I think if you compare like China versus like Western structures, China has done a very good job of taking care of the common person, you know, and the things needed for survival, the basic needs for the common person. You can get food, you can have a home, you can get healthcare, you can have inexpensive transportation. Like, that's the other thing, is like you can take taxis here are very inexpensive. So I can take a 30-minute taxi to go to the airport, and it will be like $6. Great, maybe $8 for 30 minutes. So, and then of course there's subways, and the subways are even cheaper. So, yeah, and so I think that affects the whole culture, right? Because if everyone knows that they have their basic needs met, you know, that's an incredible experience. That's an incredible thing to feel. And I wish we had more of that. We being like the United States. I never really felt that way. I've always felt stressed by trying to make ends meet. It's always been stressful for me in the US. So, and even if I had a moment where I thought I was okay, I also knew that people around me weren't okay, right? So like working in healthcare, like I was okay, but I was serving people that were not okay, and that was stressful for me too. So yeah, maybe we can learn from each other. Yeah, I know people, they don't realize, like one of the people here, they were talking to me and they were asking about healthcare, and I was like, oh no, it's really expensive. Like some people don't go to the doctor because they can't afford it. And they were like, well, what happens to them? And I'm like, well, they may stay sick or they might get sicker. And they were like, what? They're like, we thought healthcare was free in the United States. And I was like, don't know which gave you that idea. It's not free. So yeah, I know I didn't want to say that, but it's like, yeah, many people, we can die. And it's true. They choose between, calling an ambulance or not, and they, getting the care they need. It's really unfortunate. So there's another really interesting vlogger. I should do a profile. Maybe I'll do a profile of him on the next travel day, on the next Monday night. He speaks in English, but he does these comparisons about like China and the West. And yeah, he does a really great job. Really smart guy. So I can maybe share about him for people who are interested more. Exactly. Like that's the thing, like our definition of rich country or first world country is, how do we define that? Like China, I think I've mentioned this statistic before, but like they've raised 80 million people out of poverty in the last 40 years. Like they've actually conquered poverty in their country. Like they don't have homeless people here. They don't have homeless people. They don't have guns. They don't have drugs. So they have controls, but they use those controls to help the people. So like right now, they do have controls on social media. They have put restrictions on how much social media kids can do during the day. And, they have controls on gaming and how much gaming kids can do in the day. They have, so I think we might not agree with everything, but at the same time, I'm like, I will give up. Obviously, I am here, and I would choose to give up some of those freedoms in order to live in a place where I know that the people in general are being taken care of by the government, and that I feel safe. I feel more safe here. Yeah. Maybe we will. I don't know if you saw the speech from the new Canada Prime Minister, Mark Carney, but that was phenomenal and really inspiring. And it was nice to see that leadership, because I think that there haven't been really inspiring examples of leadership recently. And that was a very inspiring example of leadership. Oh, you didn't see it yet? Okay, yeah, I can put that down in the link too. I don't know if I can find it quickly, but you won't have trouble finding it. Mark Carney, Davos. Yeah, his speech at Davos. No, it's everywhere, so I don't know which one would be the easiest to share, but I'll put this one maybe. Yeah, it's Davos speech, Mark Carney. Oops, I don't know if I did that right. But anyway. Okay, I ran over my ideal 15-minute slot today. But yeah, I think so too. And I really do want to be trying to set my targets for more art time. And that's one thing I've been thinking about too, as I go back to start this new phase of life. Is like, I want to be very clear and dedicated about my time parameters so that I make sure to protect time to work on the art and the education and learning that I want to do. Because I haven't been able to do that very well this month. But I'm trying again. Thank you so much, Bloom. Have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you next week, or maybe I'll see you in a little bit because I'm going to join your live in an hour. Oh, I can't. I'll be on the train. Okay, I'll have to watch it later. Okay. Bye.